square window. I wonder if that's where. What? I got this one or two. Yes. MBTA 1000 events. I know one. I can't remember MBTA. That's it.
¿Qué hora es? Las 6.
Mamá, que os estoy en esta tarde.
Ya, pero vamos a ir en autobús.
Sí, no, pero vamos a estar y luego hasta el parque de parques. No está por ahí.
Pero vamos en autobús.
Vamos en autobús.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the old Mercia. There was one or two people got on at the Tower of London, but we just have to give some form of commentary. So rather than put the tape on, I'm going to try my best to entertain you for about 20 minutes. Okay, is that okay? Yeah. Tower Bridge, combined suspension and basket bridge. The two centre baskets will be raised or lowered in just over 1 minute to allow the larger ships like the Belfast ahead of us to enter the upper shipping pool of London. As we go through the bridge on our right, there it is, the Tower of London. Work started here in the reign of William the Conqueror in 1078. The four turrets in the centre there, they're all different. Have a look at them. One's got 4 windows in, one's got a larger turret at the back, one's got 2 windows. They was all built in different reigns of different monarchs. In the river wall, entry to the Traitors' Gate. It was known as the Watergate. It was where the pirates and traitors and smugglers of this country, they were tried in the Houses of Parliament. The watermen were thrown downstream here, through the Watergate, up onto Tower Hill, where they had their heads chopped off. On our left-hand side, the C-35 cruiser Belfast. Built in the Harland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast, one of the largest light cruisers ever to be built for Her Majesty's Royal Navy. She is famous for seeking out and sinking the German raider vessel, the Shambles, which was approximately 3 times the size. Now look way ahead of the boat, on our right hand side, glistening in the tropical sunlight, can you see the golden ball of flame of the monument? The monument to the Great Fire of London, which started in the small baker's shop in Pudding Lane on Sunday the 2nd of September in the year 1666. The fire burned for 4 days, destroying all this part of London. All this area on our right hand side is the commercial side of the City of London. On our left, the South Bank, places of art, places of entertainment. As I say, there's plenty of pubs and restaurants. But this area of water you are going through now, this is the upper shipping pool of London. During the 40s, 50s, 60s, and even up to the 70s, was the busiest port in the world. All different cargoes used to come here from all different parts of the world. Now it's luxury apartments, and many of the buildings now are run by banks, to be honest. And also, if you can, that's London Bridge ahead of the boat. The first London Bridge was built here by the Romans and taken down by the Danes in 1013. The present London Bridge was opened here quite a few years ago. But the old, have you seen pictures of the old London Bridge with all the buildings on? Have you seen it? It's famous. Look to our right and you see that church. Where we are now, this is where that London Bridge was. Right across the river at this point, with all the houses on. Have you seen pictures of it? Yeah? London Bridge, as I said, nice over there of London Bridge. But through the bridge to our left, in the driveway she is an exact replica of Drake's ship that circumnavigated the world. Can you see her? Just past the building with the white canopy round. But all that area on your left hand side, can you see Winchester Wolves? Can you see it? It's the grey little warehouse with the A in the top. Winchester, this area to our left-hand side, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th centuries, was owned by the bishops of Winchester. Very, very famous and powerful bishops. And over there we've got the Clink prison. Have you heard our Cockney rhyming slang? When I go inside, when I do time, I go to Clink. That is the original Clink prison over there to our left hand side. Cannon Street Railway Bridge. The only interesting feature about the bridge is really the tide. Look at the tide going out. We're going up against the outgoing tide. Very strong spring tide today. From low to high, the tide is 7.2 meters. Bridge to our left. Over the old pub there. The anchor of Bankside. It is in one of their rooms where Samuel Pepys sat writing his diary whilst over on our right hand side was all being destroyed in the Great Fire of London. Okay, so just imagine 1666, all along your right hand side now was all destroyed in the fire of London. Southwark Road Bridge. Through the bridge and to our left we have the white dress. Can you see the white round structure? Just ahead of the boat, just above the pier. That is the Globe Theatre. There was 5 theatres on the site here. The Rose, the Star, the Globe. They don't really know actually where the Globe was, but this is an exact replica of Bill Shakespeare Globe. It's where he had most of his plays performed for the first time. Romeo and Juliet, King Lear, Othello, all them type of plays. Okay. On our right, the square opening in the River Wall, just back to our right here, Queen Ive Dock. It's the oldest dockway on the River Thames. Dates back to the Romans, and it's where a lot of the people entered the water during the fire. You are allowed to wave it, you know. That's good. On our left, just above the pier, can you see the small square building with the red front door? Can you see it? 49 Cardinals Walk. That is the home of Sir Christopher Wren. While his masterpiece, St Paul's Cathedral, was being built on the right hand side. And there it is, dominating the skyline, Wren's masterpiece. 365 feet tall, took 35 years to build. Someone asked me this morning, how did they raise the money to build the cathedral? Ships used to come into London loaded with coal, because we had all the power, you know, like for the power stations, you know, it's a bit before then, but they put a really huge tax of coal into the city of London, and that is how they built St Paul's Cathedral. Okay? For the ladies on the boat, this is something a little bit special for you, okay? Look to our right. Can you see the white cranes? And then you can just make out the top of a church. Can you see it?
Yes.
St Bride's Church in Fleet Street. Now you know, ladies, when you get married you like that big cake with about 4 or 5 tiers? That is Sir Christopher Wren's St Bride's Church in Fleet Street, and that is where you get the tiers of your wedding cake. Okay? Blackfriars Railway Bridge. Look ahead of the boat, the red columns are all that's left of the first railway bridge. Can you see the pink columns on the next bridge? Look at the pink columns. They're the old replicas of the old Blackfriars Protestant, which once stood to our right. But look at the birds, they can't see them from the road. Look, can you see the birds? Right, this Then there's puffing, kitty-weight walnut and gold. There's a bird that can be found towards the sea behind us. You can see the swans, ducks, geese. There's Crete, I think the swans are on our left. There's the swans here. Now these are all birds that can be found towards the land, because the source of the river is 73 miles ahead of the boat. There's a little puddle, comes out the old hill and gets this mighty river. Unilever House on the corner, the home of the legal group of companies, soap and detergent manufacturing. That's where I went to school there, like see it? The old City of London School for Boys. That's where I went to school. Right? And then you've got Cyan College. The red brick church-like building, Queen Victoria's personal Bible and her diary are in that building. As I say, all this here is all the commercial side. Behind the trees, the inner and outer temple, or the temple bar, is where most of our eminent lawyers and solicitors have their headquarters. There's been some judicial system there since the 15th century. Okay? Are you enjoying this? Is this okay?
Yeah.
I can only speak, I never went to school, I can only speak like this. I can't read and write, but there you go. Right, also on our right, you'll notice a lot of the stuff is on our right. Can you see the stone arch? Temple Gate. Now when we went through Tower Bridge, that's a gate into London. This gate here, Temple Gate. There's 5 gates into the ancient Roman city of Londinium, London, which we're now coming out of. There's Temple Gate, Aldgate, Bishop's Gate, Tower Bridge, and there's one more. But can you see? But can you see the griffins? Can you see them? When the king wants to go into the city of London, he is met by the Lord Mayor of London at that point. The king has to say, I come in peace, and the Lord Mayor lets him come into the city of London. And they do it once a year now as a bit of a pageantry. Wellington, the livery hall for the Honourable Company of Master Mariners, whose president is King Charles. On our left, still the South Bank, the flashing adverts is the new National Theatre, 3 theatres in the one building. Now, remember I told you back at the tower, at the monument, all this on our left hand side was all destroyed in the fire of London. There was no road, okay? And one of the first buildings that was built after the fire, can you see with the green small roof up there, can you see it? Right, now look along, just above the road, you'll see a stone arch, okay? Now there's a place of Father Thames in that arch. The River Thames used to go through there. There was like a little lock system, and that was where the king or the queen, the monarch, would keep their royal barge, okay? And the king or queen's waterman, me and my young colleague Will Waterman, he used to have a room or an apartment in that building. Dukes of Somerset lost that building to the crown in a car crash. I think it was Nick. The Savoy Hotel, we staying in the Savoy, anyone? That's the building there, not with the small black roof. Single flagstaff in the centre. The clock face, Shelmex House, it's home of the Shell Group of companies. And on the embankment wall, can you see Cleopatra's Needle? 3,500 years old. It was a gift from an Egyptian government to commemorate Nelson's victory over Napoleon at the Battle of the River Nile. Now, can you see anything strange about that? Someone guessed it yesterday. Look at the sphinxes. They should be facing the other way. They should be guarding it, not looking at it. But they realised their mistake and they've left it. Festival Hall to our left, just another concert. Through the bridge, Charing Cross Railway Bridge, and it's now the Queen Elizabeth footbridge. This is the only place on the River Thames where you can go both over and under a separate railway system. Below the river bed at this point, we've got the tube. The regular station's over there, now right, into our left. And here we have the main line. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to.
No, por abajo por medio.
On our right hand side, Whitehall Court. Whitehall Court Mansions, the home of many of our gentlemen clubs. It's where Winston Churchill had a room or an office in the basement during the Second World War. Because it's next to the Ministry of Defence with the four green rooms. On our left, the London Eye has 32 pods. 32 pods because we have 32 boroughs in London. When you get to the top, after about 20 minutes, you can see the 32 boroughs. Okay? Well worth a visit. The building with the spire, that is County Hall. It used to be our County Hall, but it's now got the Shrek's Adventure, it's got the aquarium in there. I think there's a Winnie Pooh experience over there, and I think there's
Shrek's
also
Adventure.
Wow. Sorry. Right, there it is. Right, shop. There's the Houses of Parliament. Can you see the Houses of Parliament? Get your cameras ready. Now, the clock face at this end is not Big Ben. Big Ben, that is the Queen Elizabeth Tower. Big Ben is the name to the bell that is going to chime the hour at 6 o'clock. And my young Captain Bill has got us right here for here it goes. There it is. Okay, at the far end, the Square Tower, that is the Victoria Tower. That is where all our voting papers are stored after each general election for 1 year and 1 year. There it is. Also, Westminster Road Bridge ahead of us is the only road bridge to span the River Thames with 7 arches, because just the other side of the bridge there's an old Roman road. There's a Roman fjord, and it gets very shallow across there, so they had to spread the weight. So that's hence why you've got the 7 arches. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got your photographs of Queen Elizabeth Tower. I nearly said Big Ben. Have a little look. We're going alongside. Everyone's got to get off the boat because that's it. Now we finished the tour. Now I see you've all got bags. You've all got nice cameras. You've got phones. I've got loads of phones. I've got a camera I can sell you if you want one. Just please take all your belongings. And also, as you probably guessed now, I'm not a guide. I'm just a Thames waterman. Same as my young colleague here, Bill. We do these guides just to give you some idea about our river which flows through London.